Hello all. Today we are going to learn canonical expression. Okay, so in order to learn canonical expression, you have to know what is max term and min term, which we have already covered in the previous session. So if you are not aware about this, I would suggest you to go back to the previous session and go through that video once, because then it will be easy for us to continue with the canonical expression. Okay, so a Boolean expression composed entirely of min term or max term is called as a canonical expression. Okay, so a canonical expression can be represented in following two terms, that is sum of products and product of sums. This we had come across briefly in max term and min term, isn't it? So today we are going to learn what is sum of products, and in the next session we are going to learn about product of sums. Okay. So, sum of products, as the name suggests, this is nothing but, it is an expression, Boolean expression, where it is represented purely as sum of min terms. Now, what is a min term? Min term is nothing but product of literals, isn't it? So, if I'm writing x, y, here x and y are literals and there is a product between them, isn't it? So, this is a min term. Now, when we have sum of min terms, so something like this, xy plus x bar y, x bar y, if you are writing it in this form where we have min terms and we are doing a sum of that. Okay, so this can go on. In such cases, this is called as a canonical SOP form, canonical sum of products form. Okay, now a logical expression is derived from two sets of known values. Now, what is happening is we have to derive a logical expression in the form of sum of products. Now, how are we going to do that? Now, this particular Boolean expression or a logical expression can be derived using two sets of values. The first one is the various possible input values and the desired output values for each of the input combination. The meaning of this is simple. So whenever we have to derive a particular Boolean expression in the form of sum of min terms, we will be given a set of inputs, set of input values and the respective result of that. Okay, respective result for those particular given input. Now, when I give an example, you will understand it in a better way. Now, see here. This is an example where these are nothing but the input values and this is the respective output. Okay, so that is what we were saying. So input and the result. So we are given already saying when x is equal to 0 and y is equal to 0, the output is going to be 1. When x is equal to 0 and y is 1, the output is going to be 0. X is 1, z is 1, y is 1, the z is going to be 1, and x1, y1, we will get z as 1. Now we need to find out a canonical sum of product expression for this particular inputs and outputs. Now, how are we going to do that? Now, this is a truth table method which we are going to see in the first. Okay. So, whenever we are given an example or a question like this, first thing we are going to do in a truth table method is draw the truth table. Okay. So, we are having inputs x and y and z is going to be our output. Okay. So, we already have learned how to do or draw a truth table, isn't it? So, when we have x and y, that is two inputs, we are going to have how many rows? We are going to have 4 rows, isn't it? So then the combination what we are going to write is 0, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1. Now let's see, when x is 0 and y is 0, the output is going to be z is equal to 1. So in the place of z, I'm going to write 1. When 0, 1, it is 0. So 0, 1, 0. 1 and 0, it is 1. So 1 and 0, it is 1. 1 and 1, it is 1. So I have written the output. Now, this was already given in the question. All we did was we have entered it in a truth table. Now, the next important thing is we are going to add another column where we are going to write product terms. Now, this product terms is nothing but in the min term. When we were learning min term, we knew that whenever the value of a variable is 0, we are going to represent it as x bar. Suppose the x value is 0, then we will write it as x bar. If the value of x is 1, then we are going to represent it as x, isn't it? So that is what we are doing here. See here, when it is 0, 0, we are writing x bar, y bar. And when it is 0, 1, we are writing x bar, y. When it is 1, 0, we are writing it as x, y bar. And when it is 1, 1, we are writing it as x and y. I hope this is clear. So wherever there is a value 0, we are applying a not operator, that is bar. Okay. And this particular thing, we are going to write it as a product. This also you need to remember. So when we are doing a canonical sum of product, first we are going to find the product of the literals, right? So now the next step is, so first what we did, whatever the question was given, we did a truth table accordingly. Then we found out the product terms. Now wherever we have the result as 1, so this is the result column, isn't it? Wherever we have 1, only those literals we are going to, sorry, only those terms we are going to make a sum. This expression is wrong, students. So x bar y bar plus xy bar plus xy. Okay, this is equal to z. Now this is the minterm canonical form of a Boolean expression, or the canonical sum of product form of a given expression, or the given for the given question. Now this is the canonical sum of product form. Okay, so this is how we are going to find out using the truth table method. Now let's see the second one, another question here. Now, a Boolean function defined on 3 input values x, y, and z. So we are going to have 3 input values. That's why we are going to have 8 rows. Okay. Z is 1 if and only if number of 1 input is odd. Okay. For example, f is 1 if x is 1, y is 0, and z is 0. Draw the truth table for the above function and express it in the canonical sum of product forms. Okay, let's do it. So the z is 1 only when the number of 1 inputs is odd. So it can be 1 or it can be 3. If any one input is 1 or all the 3 inputs are 1, then the z is going to be 1. Okay. First, let's write the value of x, y, z, which is 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 0, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 1, 1. Okay. Now see where which all rows do we have odd ones. So this one is 0, so we can write 0. Here we have 1, 1, 1, 1. Here it is 2, so 0. Here it is 1. Here it is 2. Here it is 2. Here it is 1. Okay. So in 4 places we are getting output as 1, right? Now let's write it in the minterms form. So x, y, z, we are going to write it as x bar, y bar, z bar, because they are all 0. Next x bar, y bar, z, because z is 1. Okay. X bar, y, z bar, x bar, y, z bar, then x bar, y, z, x bar, y, z. Then we have x, y bar, z bar. Then we have x, y bar, z. Then we have x, y, z bar. And then x, y, z. Fine. Now, where all do we have the combination? So the result is 1. So these we are going to write it as a sum of products. Okay. These, and this one. So the canonical sum of product form of this one is z is equals to x bar, y bar, z plus x bar, y, z bar plus x, y bar, z bar plus x, y, z. So this is the canonical sum of product expression of the given question. Okay. I hope this is clear. This is the truth table method of finding the expression. Now, there is another method of finding it that is called as a algebraic method of deriving the canonical SOP expression. Now, what are the rules to be followed for that? For that, first thing is we need to simplify the given expression using the appropriative theorems and rules. We had learned so many rules in the last previous sessions, isn't it? So you need to remember all of them, and using those we are going to first reduce the given expression, and then whenever a literal is missing, multiply that term with the missing variable and the not of that missing variable. Now this particular method we had done in the finding the min term of a particular given expression also, isn't it? Last thing is, by removing the duplicate terms, we get the desired canonical SOP form. So let's do this. Let's see an example and do it. So we have an example here. So x bar y plus x bar z bar whole bar. Now we need to find out the convert into a canonical SOP form, that is a sum of product form. First, let us simplify this. Okay, now how do we do that? Now we know the De Morgan's theorem, isn't it? So we are using that. First we will remove this entire bar. So what happens when we remove this? X bar y plus x bar z bar, the whole bar, we can write it as x bar y whole bar, and this becomes the or operator becomes AND operator, and we are left with x bar z bar whole bar. Okay, this I can further reduce and I can write this bar and bar gets cancelled, so x will remain, and becomes OR, so x plus y bar, and then so x bar bar gets cancelled, I'm left with x, and becomes OR, z bar double bar gets cancelled, and z will remain, and I'm left with this expression. So that is how I get this step. Okay, so after this we can use a distributive law. Using the distributive law we can reduce it to this. Okay, I hope you are all aware of distributive law. According to distributive law, what is it? X plus yz is nothing but x plus y and x plus z. We can write it something like this, isn't it? So here what we have done is, this expression we have converted into this. We have done the other way. Okay, so that is how we get this step. Now next, so this is the simplified form, we get it. Now we are going to multiply it with the missing terms. Now from this expression we know that what are the variables available in this particular expression, that is x, y and z, isn't it? So in the first term there is y, z missing. So what we are going to do, we are going to multiply x with y and y bar, also z and z bar. We have done something like this before also, so I hope you are understanding this. Okay, next in yz, what is missing? X is missing, so we are multiplying it with x and x bar, right? Now we are opening the bracket and we are multiplying, so we are getting xy bar, z bar remains same. Here we are opening the bracket and we get this step, right? Now again I am multiplying it with z and z bar. Okay, so this entire thing with z once and z bar once. So that is how I will get this step, and then this one I'm writing as it is, right? Now again I'm opening the bracket and multiplying. I'm getting x y z, x y bar z, z bar x y z bar, x y z y bar z bar, x y bar z, same thing, and x bar y bar z. Okay, now finally we are getting this particular expression. In this, just remove the duplicate, whichever is duplicate that you can remove. So what is there any duplicate? We have x y bar. Okay, this is the duplicate, so one we can keep and one we can remove. The rest all are fine, I guess. So we have got the canonical SOP form of this. Now this is the algebraic method. So there are three steps in this. First, we are going to reduce it using the Boolean theorems. So once we get a reduced form, we are going to multiply each term with the missing literal and the complement of that literal, and then we are reduce it again, and whatever the duplicate terms are there, we are going to remove, and finally we will get our resulting canonical SOP form, right? Now this specifies that output f is the sum of the first, fourth, fifth, sixth and the seventh min term. How is that? Now So how can we represent wherever we have a non-bar, we will write it as 1, 1, 1, and xy bar z becomes 1, 0, 1, and this becomes 1, 1, 0. This becomes 1, 0, 0, and this is 0, 0, 1, isn't it? This is nothing but 1. This is nothing but 4. This is nothing but 6. This is 5. And this is 7. Okay. So we can represent it as M1, M4, M5, M6 and M7. So this is canonical SOP form can be represented in this way also. And also we can represent it in this. So this means canonical SOP form. Okay. I hope this is clear. So next, now, how do we have learned about the shorthand notation of a min-term, isn't it? Now, how do we convert a shorthand notation to min-terms? From a min-term, we have learned how to convert it into a shorthand notation. Now, how to do the other way, okay? First rule is find the binary equivalent of the decimal subscript. Example, for M6, the subscript is 6. Binary equivalent is 110. Next, for every ones, write the variable as it is, and for zeros write the variables complemented form. That is, for 110 it is xy bar. Okay, I hope you're understanding this. So here it's the same thing. So whenever we get, suppose I am getting, so we can write the previous example only, we can try. Okay, so what did we get? We got in the previous example M1, M4, M5 and M6 and M7 is in 1, 4, 5, 6, 7. So suppose I am writing it like this. So how do we write this? First thing it is saying, first write the binary equivalent. So what is the binary equivalent of M1? It is nothing but 0, 0, 1. Binary equivalent of 4 is 1, 0, 0. Binary equivalent of 6 is 1, 1, 0. Next, binary equivalent of, sorry, I missed 5. Binary equivalent of 5 is 1, 0, 1 plus binary equivalent of 7 is 1, 1, 1. Right. Now we are going to convert this into the min terms, and how? Wherever there is 0, we are going to write the complement of that particular variable, and wherever there is 1, we are going to write the same variable. Okay, so as it is. So this is nothing but x, y, z. Okay, so continue writing it in that way. So 0 becomes x bar, y bar, z plus x, y bar, z bar. Okay, now 110 means x, y, z bar plus x, y bar, z plus x, y, z. Okay, so this is the way we are going to convert a given shorthand notation into min terms. I hope this is clear. So next thing is, there is an example over here. Convert the following 3 input function f denoted by the expression into its canonical SOP form, which is f is equal to m0, m1, m2, m5. This is something similar which we did right now. Okay, so we have given expression something like this. Now how are we going to write? So m0 can be represented as 0, 0, 0, m1 is nothing but 0, 0, 1, m2 is 0, 1, 0, and m5 is 101. Now here what we are whenever you see a small m, you should understand that it is in the SOP form. So SOP means wherever there is 0, we are going to write a complement of the variable, right? So since all are 0, we are going to write x bar, y bar, z bar, and here it is x bar, y bar, z, x bar, y, z bar, and x, y bar, z. So when we write it in the form of SOP, we will get something like this. Okay, so that's all in the session, students. Hope this has been helpful. Thank you for watching.